Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Quickdraw, I tell the Harvester to kiss my sweet ass because I finally finished farming the Detron. Ever since the Gradivus Dilemma, I've been wanting to get my hands on this, and it sure as hell didn't help that the white crewmen on Jupiter were huge cock teases and waving them around like it wasn't a thing. But after a little Harvester farming, I must say that I'm definitely having a blast. So for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, the Detron's parts are only dropped by the Harvester, another one of Aladv's robo-dogs. You can only spawn the Harvester by supporting the Grineer in enough invasion missions against the Corpus, which in turn will get you an email from Aladv himself thanking you for volunteering for the Zanuka project, because apparently he has nothing better to do with his time other than send out mass emails and dress like Lady Gaga. From that point on, the Harvester has a chance to spawn in any mission that you take against the Corpus. Defeating the Harvester will get you at least one of 3 components needed for its construction: the barrel, the receiver, and the blueprint itself. On top of that, you'll also need 10 Orokin cells and 15,000 credits. The Detron's base damage is radiation, which suffers resistances from normal shields, infested, and fossilized ancients. While that is a bit painful on other factions, the innate radiation allows you to turn it into a Grineer killing machine. So let's just jump into simple facts. As much as it pains me to say, compared to its Gradivus Dilemma counterpart, the Brak, the Detron's fire rate, raw damage, critical chance, and multiplier definitely fall short. In fact, it even falls behind the Bronco Prime. The argument could even be made that the Act Broncos, due to their faster fire rate, will end up doing more damage. And sadly, it's all kinda true. Now I bet you're wondering, why the hell did I overkill this weapon if I basically said that it wasn't on par with a slew of others? Well, the fact is, while the Detron isn't great at a lot of things, what it's good at, it's really good at. When it comes to taking down alloy armored Grineer, the Detron's base damage can easily overtake any of the guns that I listed, especially since alloy armor isn't calculated the same way with radiation damage as it is with everything else. The Detron also doesn't suffer any fall-off damage like the Bronco series, but has superior accuracy and very low recoil, giving it an increased range of effectiveness and more control over where you place your shots, making this an excellent weapon for a very niche mod setup. So let's overkill the crap out of a weapon that's only probably useful in very specific situations. As you can see, we've got a 6-forma build with 5 V polarities and 1 bar polarity. Now for the base mods I pretty much use on every sidearm: Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, and Lethal Torrent. And since this is a Grineer build, we'll go ahead and slot in the Bane of Grineer. Next we get into something a little interesting. I went ahead and added a Max Seeker mod in order to help clear the crowds. This isn't normally a mod that I add to most sidearms, but I feel like it works quite well with the Detron. As I've stated before, punch through on the right weapons can greatly increase ammo efficiency and basically offset the Detron's low clip size and slower fire rate. As long as they're grouped up, you kill more with less shots fired. Also, because the Detron has no damage fall-off and a tighter spread than most shotgun-style sidearms, you'll be able to do the full damage as well as punch-through damage, making you a crowd-clearing machine even a bit past mid-range. Now, note that I did say this is a crowd-clearing mod, so I mainly use this build for survival and defense. Other than that, you can always swap it out for an additional quality of life mod or an additional elemental mod to up the damage. Speaking of elemental mods, I'm slotting in electric and poison elemental mods to create the corrosive elemental combo, as well as a pistol pestilence mod. Now, using corrosive works well with the Seeker here to guarantee that you'll be able to tear down multiple ferrite armored Grineer in a single shot. But due to the high damage that most shotgun secondaries have, you could feasibly swap out the electric mod for a cold mod to create the viral combo, which still gives you a decent damage increase to the ferrite-clad clones, but gives you an even bigger advantage against the Grineer's alloyed units. Also, the Pistol Pestilence mod is definitely optional. It helps a lot to apply the statuses, but if you don't need the extra power, you can always swap in a Gunslinger mod to increase the fire rate. Now for the Corpus, just replace your poison mods with a cold elemental mod and an ice storm mod to create the magnetic elemental combo. But again, you can swap out ice storm for gunslinger. And lastly, while the Detron is feasible against the infested, it's not necessarily optimal. But if you insist, I'd use the exact same build that I used for the Grineer, except swap to the appropriate Bane mods. And I'd strongly suggest the Gunslinger mod so you can speedily mow down the infested units that are quick to get in your face. In fact, if you're planning on using your primary weapon to take down Ancients and just want a sidearm to mow down runners, then go ahead and swap out the electric mod for a fire mod to create the gas element. Now, since we're on the subject of things that could possibly come out of our butts, let's get to the gay factor. So, beyond the fact that I love niche weapons, there's definitely one big reason that I went crazy over the Detron and not the Brak. Yes, the Brak does more damage. Yes, the Brak can clear hordes faster. Yes, the Brak is probably the most powerful sidearm in the game, but it also looks like a turd. I don't want a gun that looks like a turd. I'm not into turds. If you're into turds, that's totally fine. I'm not here to pass judgment. But it's a very simple fact that in the gay world, whether we like it or not, looks definitely matter. And if it came down to it, the Detron is definitely the kind of guy I would date. He's built sleek, yet powerful. He's technologically friendly. He's accurate and focused when getting the job done, and most importantly, he looks like he belongs in the pages of GQ rather than floating around in a toilet. In fact, while I'm on the subject, let me put this out there into the universe and save my gay brethren the talk. Straight men, if you look like a turd, you probably have nothing to worry about, so chill the fuck out. Now that that's cleared up, let's get back to the quick draw. So while I'm fond of the Detron, I will say that it's not necessarily a weapon that everybody needs to rush out and get, especially since it's really only amazing at taking down the Grineer. There are a lot of other weapons that are much more attainable, can deal just as much damage, and have a lot more flexibility with what factions they work well on. However, I will say that I love the majority of its mechanics, the damage isn't half bad, and I'm a pretty big fan of its model. While the Detron is awesome to add to weapons collection, I definitely don't think that it's a must-have, especially not to the point that we've nearly wiped the corpus off the map to get it. So don't be surprised that if after days upon days upon days of farming, you end up with a weapon that you feel is just okay. So thank you for watching another episode of the Quick Draw, and yes, I'm fully aware of the whole Flappy Zephyr thing, and no, I have no intentions of playing it, because I'm pretty sure that it's evil. But regardless, don't forget to do the thing that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and be sure to stay tuned for more anti-turd content here to Gay Guy Plays. Oh. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. I knew this shit was evil.